Well, welcome to Over the Shoulder with Superintendent Killingbeck. I'm here with Matt Bauer. Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you, but maybe everybody listening today doesn't.
Oh, well, my name is Matt Bauer. This is my 24th year here teaching at Hemlock High School. It's my 4th year teaching elite fitness. Otherwise, I'm a science teacher. I teach biology and advanced biology. I also coach the varsity boys basketball team. This is my 20th season. This will be my 21st season doing that.
Wow, so 21 years as a varsity basketball coach, 24 years as a teacher. You teach science and fitness. And so, Matt, what are you really passionate about?
I think I'm passionate about kids and developing good young adults. In terms of like subject matter, I think I'm very passionate in exactly what I'm teaching. You know, a number of years ago, we actually had doing some downsizing, and I was encouraged to take more classes to maybe make myself capable of teaching physics or chemistry or other sciences, but I'm really not passionate about those things. I'm passionate about life science, and I'm passionate about physical education.
So tell me a little bit about your physical fitness classes that you're teaching here at Hemlock High School.
Well, 5 days a week, kids come into my class to get a workout. Typically our week looks like this. We have 2.5 days a week of strength training and 1.5 days a week of speed training, and our Fridays are core, flexibility, and agility drills. The reason why I say 1.5 days is our 1 day a week, we have a day where we do half speed training, and then we use the remainder of the day to work on strength.
Well, and the class has gotten rave reviews, high demand class, lots of kids want to be in it. How many kids do you have in one given hour? Let's say your max class. What's the number?
I think my biggest class has 24 kids in it.
Okay, 24 kids this year. Okay, that's actually really good. I remember one time it was up to 35 kids.
Yeah.
And so, even
I think this year they did make a conscious effort to make the classes smaller due to COVID.
So I'm looking at 24 students, 24 bodies, and I'm looking at this space, and it is actually a little bit smaller than your science room. And so your classroom that you have to teach science in, this room's a little bit smaller than that. Now, granted, in your high school science class, we run anywhere between 18 and 30 kids. But in here, you actually have some pretty big equipment. And so a lot of the space, there might not be teaching desks, but there's benches and curl things and squats and areas for deadlift. I'm looking around here, I don't see deadlift. And so what is it like when this room's filled with kids?
Well, this year up to this point, we haven't had all the kids in this room because we've used the entryway too, but now that we've moved everything back in here, it'll even be more challenging. But you're trying to keep kids socially distanced. Even if there isn't COVID and you're trying to keep you don't have to worry about social distancing. You still have limited space in this room. And with 24 kids, you have 12 groups usually, or if you're in groups of 3, you might have 8 groups. But it's a daily challenge trying to figure out how we're going to keep everybody active all the time and safe in a small space.
So, Matt, what would be the size of a space for a physical fitness class here at the high school?
Well, I think double this size would be great. I've been to a lot of weight rooms over the years, and I don't want to say anything negative about our facilities, but I haven't seen any other weight rooms that are worse than ours. I think that there's a lot of things in here that can make kids stronger, but it's not a very inviting space. The other thing that I would love to see in this room is some windows. Just the opportunity to see outdoors would be pleasant in this room.
Well, I remember my first experience walking into this room. So as a high school student, I was a power lifter, and walked into this room and it's been a number of years since I graduated high school, and I looked around, and it was in the summer, and I asked the kids, I was like, hey, where's the varsity weight room? And they were like, what are you saying? I'm like, well, where's the other weight room? There's gotta be another weight room. And they looked at me and they were like, no, this is it. And what we've made some, I don't want the public to think that we haven't made improvements, because one of the things, we painted the walls, lightened it up in here. We did get some new equipment. I'm looking at a decent squat rack over there for a safe squat rack. We've gotten some updated benches and things like that. But it just comes down to the footprint is not big enough. It's kind of like, every day we're stuffing 10 gallons worth of things into a 5-gallon bucket, and there's going to be some overflow. And you had mentioned with COVID, we were stretched out into our lobby, but preparing for potential winter sports, we moved some things back in here. We're definitely, challenged. We've reduced the class size. It sounds like by about 30%, and to try to allow for some social distancing. The thing is, we gotta do something.
Well, over my 20 years of coaching here, I've coached well over 100 basketball players, many of which now are grown and adults with full-time jobs and families of their own. I'm calling all of those Huskies to consider giving back to your school that have given you so much over the years that you were a Husky. Let's continue to support our future Huskies.